Here?
Yes.
Hi everyone, I am Kirsten Johnson. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm so excited that you guys are all here. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about things that I really love talking about. My talk is about spiritual fitness and getting rich and fit spiritually. We're going to start off with a meditation, so if your legs are crossed, please uncross them. Put both feet firmly on the ground. Don't worry, this won't be long. And put your palms on your lap, or your hands on your lap, palms facing up. Take an inhale through your nose, close your eyes, and exhale through your nose. Mom, you too, are you meditating? Okay. And really start to connect your breath with this moment, with your mind, with this breath. Bringing your mind into this room. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. As your mind connects with this breath, with your body, with this moment, just really coming into this present moment here. And on the next inhale, start to notice any tension you may have in your body, any stress, any anxiety, any stiffness, any discomfort. And breathe into that discomfort. Maybe relaxing your shoulders down a little bit. Maybe wiggling your bottom around. You've been sitting down for a little while. Really just feel yourself relax, connecting to this moment. And then on your next inhale, you may open your eyes. Awesome. So my intention tonight is to give you some tools so you can do some spiritual fitness. I'll take you through the spiritual gym, show you how things work. And really what I hope for tonight is that you can learn to use resistance to build your spiritual muscles. And when I say resistance, I'm talking about things that we might normally call problems, issues, challenges. Basically, it's when you're mentally or emotionally resisting something that's going on in reality. Maybe it's someone who's irritating you. Maybe someone's not fast enough. Maybe someone's not doing it right. So this is all resistance. So instead of sitting there resisting what's happening, you could use this as an opportunity to get your spiritual workout on. So I had such an opportunity at a meditation retreat that I went to last December. It was a week-long silent meditation retreat at Spirit Rock. And I've been there before, done this before, so I knew that the best seat in the place was right up front. So I went and got that cushion first. There's a whole window to your side, and at night the Dharma talk will be right in front of you. So I got this prime seat, and we go in for the first meditation, and I'm sitting there, and I'm so excited. I'm trying to get my meditation groove on, and I'm really getting ready to relax, and then I hear it. I was sitting next to a breather. She's breathing like this. I'm trying to be mellow. I'm trying to relax, and she's breathing. I'm irritated, right? Like, what is she doing? This is meditation. This is silent. Nothing about this is silent. So, am I talking too loud? I told you guys, I warned you, I get excited about this stuff. So, I'm irritated, right? Lots of resistance to what's happening in this moment. And I go from irritation almost immediately to entitlement. Right? She's not doing it right. She's loud. It's silent. There's nothing about this that's silent, and I'm freaking out in my head. Definitely nowhere near peace of mind. It's chaotic. And I even look around at everyone else like I was trying to get a witness, right? Does anybody else see this? Everyone's they're like this. And I'm panicking like this, right? I came here to relax, and this is not relaxing. So I was like, all right, I figured this out. I can't change her, but I could change my relationship to the breather. So the next time we go into the meditation hall, I find a seat that's abandoned in the back, and I sit on that cushion, and everything's quiet, and I'm relaxing, and I'm floating, right? I'm levitating here, and then I have this thought. Irritations happen in life all the time. It's not isolated to this one breather on this retreat. Life is full of breathers, right? There's definitely a breather on the Muni. There might be a breather in this room tonight, I hope not. But there's a breather maybe at home, definitely in the office there's a breather. So it's somebody who irritates you. So I'm thinking maybe avoiding her and being in avoidance isn't the best idea here. I came here to, work on my spiritual, muscle of being present. So what if I actually accept the breather and go back and sit by her. So when we go back into the meditation hall, I come back up to the front in the good seat. I'm sitting next to the breather. She's breathing and I'm accepting. I'm there, I'm still trying to calm down, and I noticed a shift. I shifted from this acceptance to compassion. I started to really feel for her. I'm no longer thinking about what I'm not getting with her breathing. I'm starting to think about what might be going on with her. I look and I notice that all the people around her have left. And we're not talking, but I made up stories, right? They left because of her breathing. And I may be right, but my heart's opening up to her, and I'm really starting to think, maybe she doesn't realize she's this magnetic repellent, right, repelling people across the room. That must be awful. What if she has some sort of condition that's like a health thing? What if she's asthmatic? So I'm really thinking about her, and I noticed that I was a lot calmer. I was really, yeah, Mom, I said asthmatic. So I was much calmer, and then when I went back in towards the end of this retreat, it was on the 7th day, and I sat there, and I was meditating, and I was completely peace of mind, no thoughts, and I realized she left. The breather went home. So I opened my eyes, and I look over, and sure enough, she's still there, she's still doing her thing, but I didn't notice her. I no longer could hear the breather when my eyes were closed. I was completely calm, and I was in gratitude. Because my meditation practice was stronger because of the breather. I had learned how to be completely calm next to the breather. So I'm really inviting you guys to look at irritation and when you feel entitlement, to use those as opportunities to flex your spiritual muscles. I could have spent the entire time irritated or left in avoidance. And a lot of time in life we do stay irritated, or we do stay entitled, or we do just avoid the things that irritate us. But those really could be the opportunities to flex our spiritual muscle of being present. And why do we want to do that? Why do we want to work on our spiritual muscles? Well, they're just like regular muscles that you go and work out at a gym. Right? It doesn't matter if your gym's on Nob Hill and you work out your bicep on Nob Hill. If you walk around town, go to work, go home, you bring that bicep that's strong with you everywhere you go, right? The same is true for spiritual muscles. If you work out at this meditation retreat, how to be calm amongst chaos, you bring that muscle around with you everywhere in your life. So it's not about me and the breather, it's about me becoming more calm around irritations and being more accepting. And just like the physical gym, if you go in over time, it takes some consistency. You don't just go once and you're physically fit. You go on a regular basis. That's the same way it is for the spiritual gym. If you continue to work your spiritual muscles, you'll notice over time that you become more spiritually fit. And you can start to use this resistance. So in the physical gym, we use resistance like weights and gravity, and that's how we build our muscles. And so anything that you are resisting in your mental and emotional space, that's the opportunity for your spiritual workout. And I'll tell you, your experience of life is better if you can get that awareness that, okay, it's time to work on my spiritual fitness here. In fact, on the way over here, I had an opportunity to work out. I was standing on the sidewalk hailing a cab, and this woman was hailing one behind me, and then I saw her walk past me, and I was like, that's interesting, I wonder where she's going. Maybe we can share a cab if she's going near my direction. I didn't talk to her though, and then the next thing I know, she's 10 feet the other direction, she gets in the cab, and I'm like, wait, that was, okay, how funny, right? I'm being patient, spiritual workout. And then what I happened to notice was, I saw another cab, and the cab was pulling over, and I flagged it, and I started to walk up, and this woman jumped out of a bus and bus stop and jumped into the cab, and I'm like, and I just started laughing. I'm like, I can't get irritated when I'm going to talk about not getting irritated from doing spiritual workouts. So I think I actually just I just need to be calm here, and I just totally started laughing. It was pretty funny. So you never know where you're going to be when you're all of a sudden it's time you're invited to a spiritual workout. So out of the spiritual muscles that I'll be talking about tonight, one of them is patience. So that obviously was an opportunity for patience. I had another opportunity for patience this weekend when I was at Nordstrom's, and the older woman in line in front of me wasn't moving fast enough. And I started getting irritated. She had her double rewards card, she forgot about it, so she had to pull it back out of her wallet, get re-rung, then she dropped her wallet on the floor, then she was on her cell phone making a call, and I noticed that I was really irritated because she's not doing it right. She's not going fast enough. I have nowhere to go, but I'm getting irritated at how slow she is, and when I recognized that, I had the opportunity to start working my spiritual muscles. And so really the awareness is the key, because without awareness, you're just in the irritation, you're in your mind, you're stuck in the mood. So when you become aware, you have the opportunity to look at these things and look at this resistance that you're having to the current moment as an opportunity to work out. And yeah, it's like the wise sage G.I. Joe once said, knowing is half the battle. It's true, it really is. And so that meditation you guys just did tonight, that's part of your workout, right? It's becoming more aware. And then you have the opportunity to not get lost in that irritation. So anyway, what I do when I notice that I am impatient is I use it as an opportunity to practice patience. And what it looks like for me is I start a mindfulness practice. So here I am in Nordstrom's, and I was like, okay, mindfulness. And so mindfulness is when you start to experience the world around you through your senses. So you're no longer in your head thinking about things, you start to sense them. So I start to hear the music that's being played, I start to look at the colors of the clothes. I notice she's wearing these really cute shoes, and they're like beads and sandals. A couple minutes later, when she'd noticed me and turned around and she was all frantic and tried to apologize, she's like, sorry I'm taking so long. I'm like, no problem, by the way, cute shoes. So we started this conversation. And had I not been doing my spiritual workout, you know she would have got a look like, you're taking too long. And it would have been this, we wouldn't have had this friendship. So we totally started this friendship, and I saw her in a different store in the mall, and we started talking in that store too. So I almost missed this opportunity to have this friend, right, if I didn't do that. And then I would have been irritated and rude to a stranger. So I really invite you guys to look at when you're irritated and look at that as an opportunity to really ground in presence. And just like the rest of you bring your muscles everywhere, it doesn't matter that I practice this while in Nordstrom's. It means that I'm more patient while I'm trying to hail a cab on the way here tonight and 2 people are stealing the cabs. So another spiritual muscle is joy. And that's right, joy is a muscle we have to work, or else we'll become spiritually flabby. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be spiritually flabby. So, as Carrie said at the beginning of the night, I am a life coach, and one of my clients came to me in our session, and she said, I can't wait for my vacation in 5 months. I'm finally going to relax with my husband, and it's going to be so joyful. And my heart dropped, right? You're going to wait 5 months to experience joy? Number one. And number two, you think that you're going to be able to experience joy then if you can't feel joy now? It doesn't work that way. So I asked her, tell me about your last vacation. What was that like? And she said, well, when I was at work, I was so excited about my vacation. I kept thinking about how much fun I was going to have on my vacation. And then when I got on my vacation, I kept thinking about all the work that I didn't get done before I got there, and all the work that I had to do when I was going to get back. Got in a fight with my husband. I didn't do any of the workouts I was going to do. I didn't read any of the books I was going to read. Everything was effed up. So while she was physically at work, she was mentally on vacation. And while she was physically on vacation, she was mentally at work. There was no congruency. She had never learned how to be in the same place as her body, her mind and her body. Had she practiced finding the joy that was available to her at the office, she would have been able to experience the joy that was available on her vacation. She would have been working that joy muscle. So the best way to plan to have a joyful vacation in 5 months is to find the joy that's available right now. Start to feel the joy that's here. Start to be in the moment, finding the joy that's here, or else you're going to be on that vacation worried about work, fighting with your husband. So I believe, as on the topic of joy, I believe that joy is like our inner guidance system. It's like our inner GPS, and it's letting us know when we're on track. So what I find naturally joyful, you'll find something else joyful, and then you'll find something else slightly joyful. So when we start to follow our joy as like a radar, as a guidance system, our life starts to really blossom. And we really start to experience more joy, we're attracted to it, our awareness is on what brings us joy, and our life becomes more joyful. So I invite you guys to become more aware of what brings you joy. And a great way to do this is to keep a joy journal. And so a joy journal is when you write down every night when you're experiencing joy throughout the day, and really get in touch with it. Because I'm sure there's some people in here tonight who think that they can't wait to relax on their vacation, but the thing is, if you can't relax today, you probably won't be able to relax then either and experience the joy that's right there. So another spiritual muscle, and one that I love, one that rules my life, is courage. Courage really lights me up. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I believe in New Year's intentions. And my intention for the past 2 years has been courage. I've had courage pop up as a word on my cell phone every morning for the past 2 years, really as a reminder that today my intention is courage. And I'll tell you right now that most of us wake up in the morning and we basically leave our apartment and we hop in a car and fear chauffeurs us around all day long. We're making all these fear-based decisions, our lives are getting small, we're afraid to do all these stuff, the planet's safe, we're staying in our small comfort zone. And something's really funny.
Sorry.
So a lot of us are ruled by fear, and our lives get small. And the thing is, it's like, what does courage feel like? Does anyone know what courage feels like? It feels like fear, right? Because here's your comfort zone. As soon as you work your edge and you push that, you take a step out of your comfort zone, that's courage. You take another step out of your comfort zone, that's courage. And then another step, and the entire time it's scary and it's fearful. But then you look back at those steps and you look where you've become as a result of taking the steps, and you're like, oh my God, that was so courageous. But at the time it felt like fear. So I invite you guys, when you feel the fear, to do it anyway. To really know that it's courage. When you feel the fear, that's the resistance at your spiritual gym to remind you that it's time to be courageous. And I define courage as taking action in alignment with your heart and your spirit. So when you start to take these courageous actions and align with your heart and spirit, your life begins to blossom. And if you do that with joy, and you have your patience, life really begins to change. And the next thing you know, you are really living a life on purpose, a life that's true to you. Some say that the journey from your head to your heart is perhaps the longest journey. But as with any journey, it begins with a step. And knowing that courage feels like fear, it gives you permission to keep taking that step. And you're really going to let an emotion stop you from creating the life that you want? I invite you not to. I invite you to be okay with feeling fear and taking those courageous steps anyways. So the next one is faith. And we all have faith. Unfortunately, some of us have a very flabby faith. And a spiritually flabby faith looks something like, it's not going to work out, the world's out to get me. Mom liked that one. It's not going to work out, the world's out to get me, it's never going to work out, I'm not good enough. Right? A lot of us have faith in that. It's just not going to happen, it's going to suck. So I invite you not to have the faith that it's going to suck. I invite you to have the faith that it will work out. Everything's going to be fine. The world is out to enrich me, right? That's a good faith to have. And the thing is, faith is a belief. And it's a choice. You could choose it's going to suck, or you could choose it's all going to work out. That's your choice. I invite you to choose wisely. I choose to believe that the world is going to enrich me. And when I believe that, our beliefs influence our thoughts, and our thoughts influence our actions, and our actions determine our experiences. So if you want richer experiences, have richer beliefs, right? If the world's out to enrich me, I'm going to believe it, I'm going to think about it, I'm going to take action on it, I'm going to experience it. And it's your choice. And if you recognize that it's your choice, then you can choose it. Or you can be lost in your mind thinking it's going to suck. But it really is a choice to believe what you want to believe. So I invite you to believe the world is going to enrich you. And if you do that, your life will begin to vibrate, you will feel alive, radiant, and joyful, because that's how we're meant to feel. We're meant to have richer experiences. There is another faith too. Another part of faith is a broader, a bigger faith. A faith in the universe, a faith in a universal life force, in a higher power, in a spirit that connects us all, a faith in God. So what I know about that is I can't prove it, right? There's lots of miracles or serendipities or coincidences, interesting things like, is that odd or what is that? And so my mind, my background is I have a graduate degree in statistics. So I love data, I love statistical significance, I like proof, I like all that kind of stuff. I will show me the data. And you can't with faith. That's not what faith is about. But what I can tell you tonight is that my life is fundamentally better when I have faith in a higher power, when I have faith in a spirit, when I have faith in this universal life force that I don't have to do it all. My life is absolutely, statistically, significantly better. Is that a word? Better when I have that faith. So I invite you guys to work on your own faith, your faith muscle. Whether that's faith that the world is out to enrich you, or whether that's a bigger faith that everything's going to be okay, and there's something else looking out for you. Because in my experience, life is better when I do that. So just to recap, what we do at the spiritual gym is we use resistance to build our spiritual muscles. Resistance is the opportunity for mindfulness, is the opportunity for patience, right? Just like in the gym, it's really hard to lift up that weight. Well, it's also hard in your spiritual fitness. It does feel hard, but you get stronger over time. And just like you wouldn't go into the gym, well, I wouldn't go into the gym for my first time and try to bench press like 300 pounds. I wouldn't recommend trying to practice patience for your first time on somebody else's screaming 2-year-old. I would invite you to try it on the woman with cute shoes and Nordstrom's. Do you know what I mean? Like you might even make a friend and not end up having a bad day. So use the resistance to work your muscles. When you feel fear, recognize it as the resistance to work your courage. And then I invite you to have faith too. At least have the fundamental faith of choosing to believe that the world is out to enrich you. Affirmations are great for that. That'll absorb into your psyche. And so I hope that I've inspired you guys to get your own spiritual workout on tonight. And now it's time for the Q&A.